Chapter 2, Section 7, Solving Proportions. We're going to learn what a proportion is. We're going to learn about how to solve it. And this is something that you are going to use extensively, a lot, for the rest of your algebra in this class. In fact, you're going to use it in Algebra 2 when you take it. And you are going to definitely use it in geometry. If you go into physics or chemistry, you're going to learn it there as well, or use it there as well. So let's talk about what is a proportion. Let me give you an example. Let's say 4 divided by 25, let's say, is equal to x over 100. This is called a proportion. Now you look at it and say, whoa, what is this x doing in here, and how do we figure out what x is? Well, in a proportion, and every time I want you to burn this into your brain, there's 2 steps to being able to figure out a proportion. The first step is we want to cross multiply. Cross multiply. 2, we then want to and divide. So you'll hear this term, cross multiply and divide. The first step is the cross multiply, the second step is the divide. So how does this work for a proportion? Let's take a look at our example. If we cross multiply, we're going to multiply the 100 times the 4, and we're going to multiply to 25 times the x. So it would be 4 times 100, then our equal sign, and then 25 times x. This is the first portion we do. We cross multiply. Let's solve this out a little bit. 4 times 100 is 400, 25x. Now we look at step number 2. We've got everything cross multiplied. We look at step number 2. Step number 2 is to divide. Well, what do we divide? We divide by 25 on both sides. If we divide by 25 on both sides, we're going to find out that this 400 divided by 25 is really 16. And our 25's cancel, and this is x. We have just solved this proportion here that x is actually 16. And is that right? Does 4 over 25 equal 16 over 100? Does that work? Well, if we divide both sides of this by 4, what do we come up with? 16 divided by 4 is 4. 100 divided by 4 is 25. So yes, we have figured out the proportion. X is 16. Let's take a look at another example once and see if we can figure this one out. If you take a look at the first page, the vocabulary page that I put on this chapter, this section, you're going to see this example. 12 divided by 32 equals C over 100. All right? What do we do first? First, we cross multiply. So let's multiply our 12 times the 100, set our equal sign, and then 32 times C, or 32C. We can finish multiplying here of 1200 equals 32C. Now we've done the first part. We have cross multiplied. What's the second part? The second part we need to and divide. So let's divide by our 32. Why do we divide by 32? Because that's what's attached to this constant C. That goes away. We divide this by 32 here, and we actually come out with C equaling 37.5. Now, if you notice, they want to round to the nearest percent, they say. And if we round this, we can say that C, and this is a symbol for approximate. It's 2 squiggly lines that look like an equal sign, and it says approximate, and they say 38. So it's approximately 38. And what we've done is we've figured out a percentage. I'm not going to get into that just yet, but that's what we've done. We have taken 12 divided by 32 and said, what was the percent of it? Well, we figured out that C over 100. Whenever we divide a number by 100, we're figuring out the percent. So in this case here, this here, 38, would be percent. All right. That should help you get started on the practice problems. If you look at the practice problems, I want you to cross multiply and divide. In the practice problems, they say the multiplication property of equality and the cross products property of equality. I want you to just worry about cross multiply and divide. Don't worry about the multiplication property and the cross products property. Each one I want you to cross multiply and divide. And that should be able to get you through in the practice 1 through 18. 1 through 18 I want you to do the even ones. So go ahead and do the even ones now.